Have you heard? It's truck news.
What? No.
The Truck Show. We're gonna show you what we know. We're gonna answer what the truck. 'Cause truck rhymes with the Truck Show. We have the lifted, we have the lowered, and everything in between. We'll talk about trucks that run on diesel, electricity, and on gasoline. The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Oh, oh.
It's the Truck Show with your host, Holman.
The Truck Show podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. AMSOIL launched the industry's first synthetic motor oil back in 1972, and AMSOIL continues to innovate with a wide selection of synthetics that are formulated, blended, and packaged right here in the United States. These specialized lubricants are engineered for what you drive and how you drive. AMSOIL's Shop by Vehicle tool offers package size recommendations to maximize savings and includes AMSOIL's Ultimate Oil Change Kits. AMSOIL offers the protection you demand and the performance you deserve. Get yours today at AMSOIL.com. Nissan has the right truck or family hauler for your needs, along with legendary Nissan durability. Test drive a Frontier or Armada at a local dealer today, or point your browser to NissanUSA.com, where you can use the build and price tool to configure a Nissan that fits your lifestyle. The perfect complement to your truck is a Kershaw knife. All Kershaw knives come with a limited lifetime warranty, and repair parts are readily available through the website. Kershaw knives include lifetime sharpening, and the lineup has everything from EDC knives that can be used and abused for under $50, all the way up to high-end collectibles. Thanks to our generous partnership with Kershaw Knives, Truck Show podcast listeners can get 40% off MSRP and free shipping over $50 by using the code 2540TSP now going forward. It can be used more than once and even includes automatics. Visit Kershaw.kiusa.com today. UAM Pistons is one of the few companies that's been in business for over 100 years. Founded in 1922, UEM continues on today, owned and run by the fourth generation of the family that founded them. We especially like the company's dual-oil line of diesel pistons, which are cast and machined in-house to maintain the highest level of quality and consistency. Dual-oil pistons are available for most popular diesel light and medium-duty trucks, and you can find your diesel replacement pistons today at uempistons.com. When it comes to amazing vehicle-based adventure content, how-tos, and great storytelling, only one brand is doing it right in the print magazine space, and that's OVR, Outdoor Vehicle Recreation. OVR is about getting out there in our vehicles to explore and discover the world around us. Get complimentary access for a year to the digital library or a discount on your print subscription today at OVRmag.com. Use the promotional code @TruckShowPodcast.
And please help me to keep the Truck Show podcast free by supporting our sponsors. Have you heard?
Oh, no.
Man, we've had a lot of truck stuff happen while I've been away, and there's so much to cover. I think the way we're going to handle this is we're going to do regular new news going forward with a regular Thursday, and then I'm going to throw in some, in case you missed it, over the next few weeks of news that we didn't talk about while I was gone. I think that'll be the easiest way to make sure that we cover it all. So for this episode, we will concentrate on the truck news that happened over the past week or so. So in case you missed it, Ram made a pretty major announcement, and that is that the Hemi is officially coming back to the Ram 1500. And it will be an option and an upcharge over the standard Hurricane straight six and the 3.6 liter V6. So essentially, Tradesman, Express, Warlock, Bighorn, Lone Star all get the 3.6 liter V6, which is the Pentastar standard, while the optional engine will be the standard output 3 liter straight six Hurricane, the twin turbo. And that's a great engine. I've had the Rebel with that engine. I actually thought it was a high output engine because at that point I had only experienced the high output in a Grand Wagoneer, and that standard output felt great. But the 5.7 liter Hemi will be optional on top of those. Now, when you move up to the Laramie and the Rebel, the 3 liter standard output Hurricane is standard, with the Hemi V will be optional. On the Limited and Longhorns, the high output 3 liter straight six is standard, and the Hemi will be a no-cost option. The 1500 RHO and the Tungsten will only be available standard with the high output 3.0 liter straight six. And just as a recap, the standard output Hurricane is 420 horse, 469 pound-feet of torque. The V8 is 395 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. So you're actually taking a little bit of a step back in power, but demand was there enough for them to put this engine in. So for about $1,200, you'll be able to get into the less powerful Hemi, but you get that V8. And this is going to be the e-torque version of the Hemi. Because of that electrification, it was the easiest way to get it into the Ram 1500. And on top of that, all V8 powered Ram 1500s for 2026 come with the performance exhaust that originally was saved for, I believe, was just the Rebel and the GT before. So they're really trying to do their best to cater to that Hemi customer, and be interested to find out what you guys think. truckshowpodcast@gmail.com. What are your thoughts on the Hemi coming back, and would you get the less powerful Hemi and pay more for it? Be curious to know what you guys think. In other Ram news, coinciding with the V8 announcement on the 1500, Ram is returning to NASCAR, and could be as early as the 2026 campaign in Daytona. They revealed a Ram 1500 concept race truck and basically previewed what's to come. Ram's planning on having 25 product announcements in the next 18 months, and the concept NASCAR truck borrowed basically something used from Warlock Rebel RHO. I think it looks great for a race truck that has to kind of figure out how to make the body of a production vehicle work. I think it looks really awesome. The concept had a two-tone black and red livery with Mopar direct connection on it. Kaniskis, the head of Ram, said that they always wanted to rejoin the series, and now they're going to be advertising the return to NASCAR with the Hemi and a new Ram Redemption campaign that'll feature the Hemi truck. Oh, and one more thing about the Hemi trucks. Ram has a new badge for the fenders called their Symbol of Protest badge, and it's a cartoon stylized V8 with a Ram's head on it. It looks badass. For those of you looking forward to getting a Ram V8, which all of them will have this badge, be prepared to be replacing those as random kids steal them from your truck in parking lots. Gotta love that V8 sound. Speaking of V8s, Ford also with a big announcement finally revealed, and in line with the prophecy of the Truck Show podcast, is the brand new Ford F-150 Lobo, which is a STX that has a styling package. The rear's lowered 2 inches, and it's got a 10-piece body kit on it. So Lobo originally was F-150 in Mexico. Now it's a trim of Maverick for sport truck, and Ford is now extending that to the F-150. So here's a little bit more about the F-150 Lobo. It'll be exclusively in the Super Crew body style, which sucks because I think people would love to have seen it in a regular cab, but Ford knows where the dollars come in. It'll come only with a 5-liter V8. It'll be 400 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. And if you want the supercharged 5.2-liter V8 with 720 horsepower, the Raptor R, that remains a Raptor exclusive, so that's not going to happen. However, you will be able to get the Ford Performance Whipple supercharger if you want that kind of power. Other little tidbits about the F-150 Lobo is it'll be 4-wheel drive, electronically controlled on-demand 2-speed transfer case, so it'll have 2 high, 4 auto, 4 high, 4 low, maximum payload of 1,450 pounds. It'll be able to tow 7,900 pounds. Like I said before, there's a 10-piece ground effects kit and lots of black accents, and it's got a cowl hood, its own grille with lights that go across the front of it, and tweaks to the tail lights, and it's going to come standard with 22-inch gloss black wheels. Again, I like the look of it. I wish they had lowered it 2.4 instead of just 2 in the back, 0.2. It looks really cool to me. Again, based on the STX, so it's not going to have a crazy standard, equipment content, but that also keeps it affordable. They are going to start it at $59,995 which is about a $4,695 premium over the regular SDX, and it can be had in Atlas Blue, Rapid Red, Carbonized Gray, and Oxford White. So stay tuned. More to come on the Ford F-150 Lobo. Can't wait to get in the driver's seat and take one for a spin. In other Ford news, the 2026 Ford Ranger Super Duty pricing has been revealed. So we talked about how this is an Australian market Ford Ranger that will not be coming here, but it's essentially an 8-lug Ranger. You can go back a few episodes and find out more about it. And it's the truck that I think many of us would like here. In Australia, the base price will be $82,990 Australian, which works out to just under $55,000 US. And that's for the single cab chassis model. And doesn't include a tray or bed. So it's just a chassis cab Ranger. So let's see, a lot of coin for a mid-sized truck over there. They do use them like half tons. If you want to add the tray beds, they're about $10,000, a little under additional. And the super cab chassis will be $86,480, and double cabs $89,990. Of course, those are again Australian dollars. So you're looking for about 100,000 Australian with a few options, a tray bed and a super cab. Regardless of price, I think it's way cool, and I would love to see a Super Duty Ranger here in the U.S. Talking to a friend at Ford and mentioning my love for this truck, how I thought that would be awesome here. He said the Ford's thinking was that it would ride too rough for this market, as well as be pretty expensive. So don't hold your breath, but we can always dream, right? So General Motors recently announced it would put $4 billion into 3 U.S. production plants, and that was a couple weeks after announcing $888 million investment to build the next generation small block V8 for the next generation of full-size SUVs and trucks. So part of that is going to be retooling the Orion assembly plant, which was formerly where they built Chevy Bolts for gas-powered full-size SUVs and light-duty pickup trucks in 2027. And that essentially means that GM is going to be moving their truck and full-size SUV production back to the U.S., or a big portion of it, as part of this investment plan. So right now, GM builds full-size SUVs in Arlington, Texas, but half-ton trucks are split between Fort Wayne, Indiana, Flint, Michigan, and Silao, Mexico. So I think as part of tariffs and all that stuff, they want to be able to get more truck production here, and the Fort Wayne plant should see about a 20% increase in production. So anyway, for you Chevy fans, be nice to know they are bringing more production back to the United States. File this one under something Holman did not know. For 2026, Ford is bringing standard tire pressure monitoring to all Super Duties. And it seems like, how is that possible that was not standard already? But TPMS will now be standard on all 2026 Ford Super Duties, XL, all the way up to Platinum Plus, F250 through F450. In 2025, TPMS was only standard on the F350 Super Duty with the single rear wheels or dual rear wheels. Other than that, it was an option, which again sounds super weird, but apparently that's new to Super Duty. So in the past, the four-wheel drive system was standard on everything higher than an XL, some in XLT and up, and now it sounds like XLT and Larry trims will have standard two-wheel drive, and four-wheel drive will be an option. And here's another piece of news out of Ford as they're trying to get their model mix and pricing right. Ford just slashed pricing on the 2025 Bronco Raptor base price by more than $10,000. Really attractive, especially if you're in there shopping regular 392s. Don't know anybody who is doing that currently away, which is now $100,000 base price. So hopefully Jeep's paying attention to the market and will right price the 392. So the Bronco now has a starting MSRP of $79,995, and it was originally $90,035 with a destination of $19,995. So you're out the door price for a base model Bronco Raptor now $81,990. But what's interesting is Ford also changed a lot of other pricing. And keep in mind, back when the Bronco Raptor launched, it was $68,500. So it's been increased quite a lot. And I understand there's a lot sitting on dealer lots right now. So I'm sure they probably are trying to dial back pricing, which I think, my opinion, the whole automotive industry got a little greedy over the past few years, especially with interest rates being as high as they are right now. Anyway, if you're in the market for a Bronco Raptor, this might be a good time to pull that trigger with that $10,000 haircut. Or if you're looking at other things in that price category, like the Jeep Wrangler 392, keep in mind the gap between them is now $20,000. But there are some great deals on one sitting on dealer lots right now. So, that being said, does somebody looking at a Wrangler 392 go and get a Bronco Raptor? I think it depends on your use case, and it depends on what kind of deal you can get on a 392. But nice to know that a Bronco Raptor is, or the Raptor as I like to call it, is much more affordable today. One more interesting thing about Bronco to note is the 2025 Ford Bronco Strop Special Edition. So that's the only way you can get a two-door V6 in the Bronco lineup anymore. Strop was famous for vintage Broncos back in the day for Baja and things like that, and had a cool orange, white, and blue paint scheme, which is on the new Bronco. I think that's the raddest Bronco they make, especially in two-door. I love it. I think it's way cool. But have you checked the pricing on that yet? With the Bronco Raptor 4-door starting at $79,995. The Strop Bronco, which has the 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6, which is 330 horsepower, starts at, hold on your hats, folks, $77,530. What? I think it's awesome. That close to Bronco Raptor, though, in price, you really might come down for that buyer, a two-door versus four-door person, I guess. But dang, other than the color scheme this Strop gets, the suspension upgrade in the form of the Haas 3.0, which is the 2.5-inch Fox internal bypass dampers. You also get 35s and locking differentials. Then you get fully loaded B&O 12 speaker sound system, cameras, adaptive cruise, heavy duty front bumper, all that kind of stuff on it. But man, being that close to the new Raptor pricing is wild. $77,530. I don't know. I like it. I don't know if I like it. That's almost $78,000. That'd be a tough one. But very, very cool vehicle. And apparently, those of you in Florida and Oregon, you you have not been doing a good job of getting your emissions recall 67A, which is a federally mandated software update. And Cummins is trying to make it easier for Florida and Oregon owners to take action. So their new pilot program is called Win-Win and Win Again. And essentially, after Cummins reached their settlement in 2024 with the EPA, DOJ, and State of California for their Clean Air Act violations, they had to reprogram certain 2013 to 19 Rams and take out the software defeat device. And so it affected roughly 630,000 heavy-duty trucks. So Cummins is doing this for free as part of this settlement. And I know most of you guys are saying, hell no, don't touch my truck. It's exactly how I want it. But because Oregon and Florida have a pretty high population of Ram HD owners, mostly those owners who have not completed the recall, they're trying to increase participation. So basically, if you go to a participating Florida, Oregon Ram dealership between May 22nd and August 23rd, so now and August 23rd of this year, you get a $200 prepaid MasterCard, one per VIN, for extended warranty covering your emissions components, automatic entry into a $10,000 giveaway. There's 13 total chances to win, and a Cummins 67A swag bag while supplies last. And if you don't win the $10,000 the first week, you re-enter to win it again every week throughout the end of the program. So, according to Cummins Executive Director of Pickup Programs, Jennifer Rager, she said the update's designed to improve the vehicle's emission performance without impacting the engine's torque, responsiveness, or horsepower. While the software update itself is quick to perform, this special incentive program is their way of showing, or Cummins' way of showing gratitude for owners' time and commitment. also saying we're going to pay you so that we can meet the goals set forth by our mistake. So anyway, if you've got a stock Ram, probably worth doing. I'll leave it at that. And a couple patents for you guys. And I just realized I actually don't have a jingle for patents. How's that possible? Do I? I don't think we've ever done a patent jingle. Stellantis was just granted a patent for wind-powered turbine systems on vehicles, which essentially puts a little wind turbine in the grill and creates electricity for the vehicle. So not quite enough power to be a perpetual motion machine, but air is funneled into the openings in the front of the vehicle, and they spin a little mini turbine, which in turn creates electricity. Ford also just patented grab handles on the back of a pickup truck, and it's similar to the same thing that was seen on Scout's concept. So I don't know if Ford's trying to usurp Scout. Anyway, this patent was filed on December 12th, 2023, and published on June 12th, 2025, and serial number 0187515. So if you've always wanted grab handles on the back of your Ford pickup truck, they may be coming to future trucks. And then the last one that's of interest is Stellantis just patented a 3-speed EV gearbox. And you might think, I don't care, Holman, why are you telling me about this? But if you think about it, it could act as a low range for future off-road EVs, such as the ones coming from Jeep and Ram. So you have a direct drive, an overdrive, and a low range from it. So that's kind of interesting that they are thinking of off-road enthusiasts by providing a low range for their EVs, and potentially the new gearbox could help be more efficient on a variety of surfaces. And Stellantis says that it can power front or rear axle or both, providing front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, or all-wheel drive. So the very first vehicle that we think would probably see that is the upcoming Jeep Recon, but guess we won't know until we see it. So there you go. Some interesting patent news for you guys. All right, that'll do it for this episode of Have You Heard? And thanks for sticking with me with my awful voice, but I think it's getting a little bit better. And as things improve here, we'll be getting back into more regular episodes over the next week or so. And promise you that you won't be lacking in your desire to hear more Truck Show episodes. So thank you, everybody, for sticking with us. Follow us on social at Truck Show Podcast. Don't forget to send us an email, truckshowpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, we got to thank our sponsors. Thank you, AMSOIL. By the way, AMSOIL has been amazing, giving me the room to get recovered and healed. And they've been such an awesome partner. Kershaw Knives. Don't forget to get the discount. Go to truckshowpodcast.com to our featured product section and get the discount for your new knife. And also UEM Pistons. And of course, OVR Magazine. So thank you to our sponsors for sticking with the show. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And what do you say we do it again soon?
The Truck Show Podcast is a production of Truck Famous LLC. This podcast was created by Sean Holman and Jay Tillis, hosted by Sean Holman, and uses production elements by DJ Omar Khan and Jay Tillis. If you like what you've heard, please open your Apple Podcast or Spotify app and leave us a 5-star review. And if you're a fan, there's no better way to support the show than by sharing it and patronizing our sponsors. Some vehicles may have been harmed during the making of this podcast.
This is the worst show we've ever done.